And we say good morning to you. Welcome aboard. We're back after a 4-day break. Hope you had a great 4th of July weekend. We certainly did. We had a blast, and so it was all good. Got rested up and ready to roll for another great week of at the Tom Taylor Sports Show number 550. It is. And countdown is on. We're down to 42 days, the UNOH 200. We're 44 days away from right up here, the Food City 300. And, of course, we're 45 days away from America's night race. It's going to be here before you know it. This week, the stops in NASCAR is in the Kentucky Speedway. It's a triple header. They'll run the trucks tomorrow night. We'll talk all about that a little bit later on. We got the Xfinity Series coming up on on Friday, and then on Saturday will be the Quaker State 400 presented by Advance Auto Parts. Brad Keselowski, the defending champ of that race from a year ago. So it's all good. We're excited. Thanks for being with us, and we're loaded for bear. We've got stories on the NBA, Major League Baseball, NASCAR all coming up here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. We're going to be joined coming up in a few minutes by late model driver from the Kingsport Speedway, Zeke Shell from Jonesboro. He's going to stop by here. Zeke won the race last Friday night, so he's a happy camper, and well, he should be. Also, John and Rebecca Horniak are going to stop by. John's a former wrestler, now a pastor. Got a little a motivational story for us to hear, and we're excited about that. Greg Salyer from the Major League Baseball Update, and also Dave Angie is going to join us from the Johnson City Press, our buddy Angie, and, of course, from right here at Chick-Fil-A, our buddy Daniel Gooch is going to join us as well. So all that and more on show number 550. They said it wouldn't last. But we're here going strong with that quick break. We'll be right back, and we'll jump in and talk to Daniel Gooch from Chick-fil-A next here to get it cranked up here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
This is the place where you can forget all about work for a while and celebrate the good old U.S. of A. And take in the best bumper-banging, fist-waving, hero-making short track race of the year, the Bass Pro Shops NRA Night Race. And kids' tickets are just $10. Be there August 19th, because it ain't just another race. It's Bristol, baby.
Trucks, and more trucks at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. We have a huge selection of over 400 new Silverados to choose from, with over 700 total Chevrolets in stock, with savings that are bigger than our massive selection. Silverado Double and Crew Cab All-Stars, $11,000 off MSRP. Malibu LT, 20% off. 17 Colorado, $19,995. 17 Equinox, $21,445. Don't miss out on one of the best times to buy a new Chevrolet with savings that will leave you asking, how do they do that? At Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City.
At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. Diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of the patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4447. 39 years, 6 locations, 1 family. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, 1-800-524-4447.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
Back with the Tom Douglas Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. We're live at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. There you are. We have already got entries from, let's see, Jeremiah said Tennessee, West Virginia, North Carolina, Ohio, all across the Tri-Cities. What you're trying to do is win 2 tickets, 2 one-day passes to Dollywood. Why would you not? Again, thanks to Jeremy Livesey at jeremylivesey.com with Mortgage Investors Group. All you have to do is go right there. You see TomDouglasSports.com/contest and enter to win. And so we'll give it away on July the 21st, which is a week. Let me think. What's today? The 5th? So you look at 2 weeks? 2 weeks out. We're going to be giving it away. So all you got to do is simply go right there, TomDouglasSports.com. And again, entries from Spruce Pine, North Carolina, Elizabethton, Kingsport, Bluff City, West Virginia, Ohio, of course, Tennessee, North Carolina. So it's all good, and we appreciate that very much. And so why would you not? I mean, you've been to Dollywood, haven't you, Daniel?
Absolutely. It's been a long time.
All right. Tell me about Dollywood before we get into it. There's Daniel Gooch from Chick-fil-A, handsome rascal, proud papa and a proud husband. So tell me, give me the folks out there looking at the screen that have never been to Dollywood, and give us your impression of you going to Dollywood.
My impression of me going to Dollywood. Dollywood encompasses everything you'd want to do on a day with your family. Kids, anyway, anything from infants up to teenagers can have a blast. Great food, great rides, everything from dry to water. So if it's a 90-degree day and it's hot, there's a lot of great water rides there. So I enjoy it.
2 one-day passes. Here's the other thing cool, too. When you win these, you take them into the park. I didn't know this till last week, but if you want to upgrade, you can get a season pass for next year for half price. You're getting in free. So you get a free ticket. And if you want to get a season pass for 2018, you get it at a discount when you buy that day. So you really can't go wrong. So continue to enter. It's very simple. Let me do it one more time to show you the screen. Great job of Jeremiah and the folks at Appalachian Digital. Win 2 tickets to Dollywood. All you got to do is go right there, TomDouglasSports.com/contest. Thanks to Jeremy Livesey putting up the tickets for us from jeremylivesey.com. And, oh, by the way, I can say this to you, too. Somebody asked me, do we put your name on some kind of a list? Absolutely not. I don't like that done to me, and I'm not going to do it to you. So when you register, don't worry about it being sold or whatever. You go out where some bunch of people won't call you and harass you. It's not going to happen. So good luck to that. Daniel Gooch with us from Chick-fil-A. We got sports coming up here in just a minute, but it is hot outside. If you're playing softball or running or working in the yard, whatever, the good old East Tennessee humidity is kicked in, and so you've got some good answers to cool down from Chick-fil-A. Tell me about it.
Absolutely. So we've got a couple good cool down drinks. We've got our watermelon mint lemonade, great drink. We also sell it in the frosted version as well. It's kind of new. We just started selling it a couple weeks ago. People really seem to enjoy it. We also sell it in gallons. So if you want to take a gallon to your baseball game or whatever, you can do that as well. We sell bags of ice for that.
So you can get the watermelon mint lemonade in gallon jugs.
Yes, sir.
I just learned something new. Didn't know that.
Yep.
So
we've only sold a couple of them, so.
Yeah. If you like it on a limited version in a large or medium cup like this, you can go and get it by the gallon. And then also you can do it with the frosted lemonade we'll talk about, but you can do it with watermelon. Tell me about that.
Yes, sir. The frosted watermelon? Frosted watermelon is basically the exact same thing as the frosted lemonade, just with the watermelon mint mixture in it.
There you go.
So, fantastic. Really enjoy it.
Excuse me. We've been off 4 days. We're back in the saddle. Glad to be here. We're live again at Chick-fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. It's on the Daniel Gooch. So, milkshakes. Can't go wrong with a cool down on the milkshakes.
Yeah, peach milkshake's hot right now. It just came back a couple weeks ago. People love that for the summertime. I'm kind of a classic guy. I love our cookies and cream, the Oreo, and it's just the greatest. But yeah, our milkshakes are a real big hit during the summertime. Great way to cool down. If you're a little bit hungry but not ready for a full meal, they will suffice for that as well. So.
I'm kind of an old redneck kind of guy. I like that peach milkshake and the big old chunks of peach that get stuck in the straw.
Absolutely.
I like that. I don't know why.
We need to sell bigger straws, don't we?
It's like a big old hose.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I like the big chunks of peach clogging up my straws. So
yeah.
Good stuff. So you got the peach milkshake, chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, and cookies and cream. So that's another way to cool down. And then a lot of folks, I was talking to Carrie about this a few minutes ago, and she's on the front counter. She says you guys are selling a lot of salads. This is the time of year folks want to eat light. It's hot. They don't really want something heavy. So you've got some great salad choices. Tell me about it.
Absolutely. So we've got our market salad. We've got our spicy Southwest salad and our Cobb salad. I'd say I'd see the market salad probably sell the most. It's a great salad. It's got blueberries and strawberries and apples on it, so you get some of your fruit servings for the day. Very light salad with grilled chicken on it. It's really great.
That's a market salad.
Market salad, yes, sir.
If you want one, it's got a little kick to it. Tell me about that one. The spicy.
The spicy. Oh, the spicy is fantastic. Comes with our spicy grilled chicken. And then just has all sorts of the Southwest corned bean mix. It's got peppers and corn and black beans in it. It's fantastic. Really enjoy that salad as well.
Daniel told me when he sat down, he said, "Roll Tide." Can I say that on the show? I said, absolutely. So he's a big Alabama fan.
Yes, sir.
They don't recruit, they just reload down in Alabama. They're
yeah, they absolutely are.
Now, they start off with a pretty tough opponent. They open up with Florida State, which will be a pretty good ball game when it gets all cranked up here be next month.
Absolutely.
Gosh, can you believe it's almost football season?
I cannot believe it.
Yeah, I can't wait either.
It's flying by.
Yep. And so you got the spicy Southwest salad. You got the market salad. You got the Cobb salad too, right?
Yes, sir.
Tell me about that one.
Cobb salad typically comes with nuggets on it. It's a great salad. It comes with the real big difference is it has eggs, bacon, and corn on it, and then any kind of meat you want to get on it. It's a great salad, very standard, probably one of our highest selling besides the market. So great salad.
Yep. And then last but not least, if you're planning an outdoor activity or a class reunion or, I don't know, pick whatever you're going to be doing that you need some food, again, right over here it says Chick-Fil-A. You either you can cater it, or you can get it and come pick it up. So tell me how that works.
Catering, pickup, or delivery. So our delivery, a lot of businesses do that for business meetings, events, things like that. But our pickup, a lot of people love to just call in for a small or medium nugget tray, serve 10, 15 of their friends sitting at the pool or hanging out around the grill. Nuggets are great for a grill out, either for an appetizer or a part of the meal as well. We also sell our strips. We have our chicken salad sandwich trays. We have our wrap trays, and so people really enjoy that.
There you go. And all this going on at Chick-fil-A, the crossings here in North Johnson City. The website, very easy to remember, nocow.com. Nocow.com. And that's the website to go to. And so it's cranking up in here. But, you know, as for as busy as it gets, and it gets slammed, you guys do a great job, both drive-through and here, getting folks through, getting their orders, getting them on down the line, don't you?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. We have a great team. A lot of great people here, very highly talented, work well as a team together, and it's fun. It's busy, but it's fun. It's a great business to be in. Yeah, absolutely. We'll have 4 order takers today, so that'll be interesting.
Oh, yes. Oh, really?
Yeah, outside. We'll have 4 people outside taking orders.
4 people outside because it's hammer time.
Yeah, we're hoping not to keep the road blocked up.
Yeah. And then if nothing else, if you want some tea, right here is awesome, awesome tea from Chick-fil-A. Half and half, a little slice of orange in it. It is good, so you can't go wrong with a little bit of iced tea from Chick-fil-A. It is awesome. So
absolutely.
It's all good.
Tom, we forgot one thing, though. It's my favorite. We forgot the frosted coffee.
Yeah.
The frosted coffee. So it's great for a cool down and a little pickup. So if you're tired and you're hot, come get the frosted coffee. Turns out for a great mix, a little pickup. And
now, I tried that. I got to tell you, I tried it. You brought it one day and sampled it, and
not your favorite?
I could live on if I had to drink it. It wasn't my favorite, no. But nothing's bad here at Chick-fil-A, but it wouldn't be the top of the line. I'd have to go with the peach milkshaker with this, but frosted coffee, it's okay. You love it though, right?
I love it. See, I like it over the watermelon mint lemonade.
Yeah. See, I like the watermelon. Different strokes, different folks.
Yep.
My favorite would be watermelon mint lemonade. His is frosted coffee, but that's okay. That's what makes the world go round. So, good place, awesome place, and we certainly appreciate this guy. And, the baby watch what's the update?
Oh, he's crawling. I just got a video just now. First crawl today, so it's exciting.
First crawl today.
Yeah.
July the 5th.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Crawl. I love it.
I just went from kind of getting some rest to getting absolutely no rest, so that's all right, though. I love it.
That's right.
He's a hoot.
Yep, he is a hoot. Wait till Christmas. This will be his first Christmas where he'll be able to snap the lights off the trees and snap the bulbs off the trees. Oh, it's good stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
Pull the tree over, and you won't care.
No, I'll just laugh.
That's exactly right. That's what you do.
That's exactly what I did.
That's exactly right. And then you'll look up, and you'll be handing him the keys. He'll be driving.
Yep.
Then you look up, he'll be graduating. I'm telling you, it flies by. So, anyway, Daniel Gooch, the man from Chick-fil-A.
Yes, sir.
Alabama going to have a good season? You think you're going to be
yes,
all right?
sir. Absolutely.
All right,
I don't think they cannot have a good season.
They're loaded. I know boy from West Virginia can coach that Saban guy.
Mm-hmm.
He can do it. So
yep, absolutely.
Come up here and give me a roll tide.
Roll tide roll.
Roll tide roll.
Thanks for having me on the show, Tom.
Yep. Quick break. We'll be right back. Daniel Gooch with us from Chick-Fil-A here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Show number 550. Talk a little NASCAR coming up next year on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400, your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitats, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
We're back live with the Tom Taylor Sports Show, show number 550, and they said it wouldn't work, and here we are. So, hey, don't forget to enter to win 2 one-day passes to Dollywood absolutely free. We're going to give them away on July 21st. All you got to do is go to TomTaylorSports.com/contest. Again, as we said, we're not going to send this list out to people. I got that asked the other day, said, you're going to sell it off or whatever. No, I won't want that done to me, and I'm not going to do it to you. So, but again, we've got entries already from Tennessee, of course, West Virginia, North Carolina, and Ohio, Spruce Pine, North Carolina, Elizabeth and Bluff City, Jonesboro, Johnson City, Kingsport, so Lenoir, West Virginia, Charleston, West Virginia. Love it. So all you got to do is go there. There's no purchase necessary. 2 one-day passes. I think they're over $100 a pop, and so you can use them Here's the beauty of it. You can use them anytime you want to use them. If you want to use them late summer, you can do that. If you want to use them rather during the fall when they have all the craft shows and all that going on down at Dollywood, and then if you want to wait and use it at Christmas, you can. You ever been to Dollywood?
Yes, I have.
All right. This is John Horniak, by the way. Met this guy a couple of weeks ago. This guy, he can preach it. We're going to talk to him about that in just a second. So look in the camera, give him your impression we always get a lady's perspective, but giving it from a guy's perspective and a dad's perspective of going to Dollywood. What's it like for you?
I like it for the kids and all the rides and all the craft shows going on, and there's always something to do there, and you can stay busy all day. I mean, it's good for all ages, really. It's easy walking and a lot of entertainment.
Are you a rider? Do you ride rides?
I have to be. I've got a 12-year-old.
So you're on the roller coaster and all that stuff?
Oh, yeah. Whatever ones I fit in. That's the ones I have to go on.
Amen. There's some of those for us big guys, a little tight squeeze to sit in those seats. But so anyway, it's cool stuff, Dollywood. And, again, if you just like to people watch, I know some folks just like to go down, sit on the bench and just watch people. Because, anyway, for whatever reason, be sure and get on there. Let me give it to you one more time when we get into talking to John here. Again, TomTaylorSports.com/contest. And again, we'll give them away on Friday, July the 21st, which is what's today? It's the 5th. Lost track. So, yeah, 2 weeks from Friday, we'll give it away to somebody who's going to win 2 free one-day passes to Dollywood. So, we always dedicate this show to the man who hung on the cross. We unashamedly say that. We got our numbers for June, and again, thanks to the Lord, the show continues to grow. Had over, see what he told me, 90,000 impressions last month. So the show continues to grow, and we thank the Lord for that. That was Jeremiah, our tech guy, told me that. So who does the research and the numbers. So having said that, we always dedicate the show to the man who hung on the cross. We always start off with a Bible verse. And so John, who's a pastor, a bivocational pastor, is going to give us the verse for today.
Commit your works to me, and your thoughts will be established. That's Proverbs 16:3.
There you go. Commit your works to me, and your thoughts will be established. So I had a chance to hear him speak a couple of weeks ago. I went and spoke at his church, the Gideons, and had a chance to hear him speak after I did my report, and knocked it out of the ballpark. I said, man, would you ever be interested in coming up and talking? And then his wife, who went up and grabbed the mic a cappella, as they say back home, and blew my socks off. I mean, she is very, very good. In fact, she said she's going to come out and look at her over granted. Said she's going to come out and sing it for a few minutes. She sang a song, Master of the Wind, that I've heard on the Gaither videos, sung by Candy Hemphill Christmas, I believe her name is. This lady blows her out of the water. So anyway, it's his bride, and she's going to come by and sing in a minute. But I asked you to come by and give a little, I don't know, a little rah-rah, whatever you want to call it, using the gospel. Because you wrestled at one point, didn't you, in high school? Yeah. So take it away. Take 3 or 4 minutes and tell us what you want to give us a challenge, because this show is all about sports, yes, but we promote the Lord because it's the Lord's show. And as Phil Robertson said, Duck Dynasty, this show goes far, or Duck Dynasty will go as far as the Lord wants it to go. And, this show's going to go as far as he wants it to go. And we're at show number 550 today. So, and they said it wouldn't last. So it's the Lord's show. And without further ado, John Horniak, talk to us.
Well, I just thought, I was thinking how that my life and how the Lord used what I did in the past, my life and my wrestling. I was a decent wrestler, at least. I was ranked number 1 in the state in Arizona way back when, and
number 1 in the state?
I was ranked number 1 in the state. I had
yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's a big state, a lot of wrestling. Go ahead.
I had 25 pins minimum in the first round, 30 pin wrestler. I thought I was going to go a long ways, and Lord had different plans for me. And I think sometimes that we get our ideas and we get our thoughts in things, and Lord says no. And I lost in the first round to a freshman of the state tournament, and I beat everybody from third on back. At one point, the guy who took third lost in double overtime to the eventual state champion, and I technical pinned him earlier in the year. So, I had my thoughts, and the Lord had his, and I went through a little bit of depression, and wrestling was my everything. And when you strip that all away, you break down to nothing.
Amen, brother.
And sure as the world, the Lord says, wait a minute. We need to get your priorities straight.
He does that.
So, you know, it took me a long time, but he's working on me. And the Lord just really built me up. And here I am 20-some years later. And I just thoroughly blessed. I wouldn't trade it for all the state championships in the world. I wouldn't trade it for scholarships to the college. There's no way that I'd go back and redo it and have what I dreamed as opposed to what the Lord had for me. It's just a true blessing.
What should it profit a man if he gains the whole world but lost his own soul? Loses his own soul. How many people out there today looking into that camera, how many people out there have got it all wrong because they chase and chase and chase what they think is important? Mm-hmm. And, you know, my daddy used to say, you're one heartbeat away from eternity, and everything you think you need and you think you're going after and that you feel like you got to have, it all stops with that one. If your heart stops, everything stops. So what we think's important, we find out pretty quickly is not important.
That's right. As soon as you find out that if you do what the Bible says, it says, seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all these things will be added to you.
Yep.
So as soon as you find that out, and you stop trying yourself and let the Lord take control and do what he does, he knows best. Mm-hmm. That's what I tell my church all the time. You know, in spite of everything that we do, and all the troubles and all the trials that we can go through, he knows what's best for us. So if we just trust him, he's going to take care of what he needs to take care of. He's going to do what he needs to do, and we're going to come out smelling like a rose on the other side.
Amen, brother.
For eternity.
Got it.
So how could you go wrong?
Can't go wrong. Pull that chair out there for your little bride here. Let her sit down here. We're going to let her talk here, or sing here in just a second. We're talking to John Orniak. We got coming up, Zeke Shell's going to join us top of the hour. We got Major League Baseball. We got NASCAR news to tell you about. They're racing. It's a triple header this weekend at Kentucky Speedway. Trucks go tomorrow night. The Xfinity Series on a Friday night, and of course the Cup guys and Danica go on Saturday night. Got all that for you coming up here in sports. Ezekiel Elliott's in trouble, the Dallas Cowboys. So we got a lot of sports to cover here and coming up in a few minutes. But I thought I'd get John here and Rebecca. She sings like a bird. So you were the big stud in high school. You're number one ranked wrestler in the state of Arizona. So you got humbled a little bit. So and you said you went through a little bit of depression because you put all your eggs in one basket, right?
That's right. Yep, that's right.
And the bottom of the basket fell out. And the Lord said, that's okay. You didn't think so at the time because you were shattered, but the Lord said, I got bigger plans for you, right?
That's right.
And here we are. So look in there and talk to tell them again today, somebody that's out there going, you know, I'm chasing the wrong thing too. I just don't know it till I heard you say it. So speak to them. Folks out there that maybe got all their priorities wrong.
Oh, you can do what you want to do, and you can chase your tail for years and years and years, and you'll find out that if he's got a purpose in your life, then there's no way, no how you're going to escape that purpose. And when he says, I've had enough, you're going to see the bottom fall out. You're going to watch your life break down to nothing. And when you submit to God, he's going to take that life and rebuild it exactly the way he wants it. And you're going to make mistakes along the way. You know, salvation doesn't mean perfection. It just means you have the answer. So when he starts to build your life again, you're going to sit back and look like I did, like many others did, and say, you know what? Why was I so hard-headed? Why in the world did I fight it so hard?
Yes.
And so you have a choice. You can keep fighting your way.
You got it.
Or you could submit to Jesus Christ and his plan and find salvation. And you can't. Going to church is important. That's wonderful. Going to church is important. But until you get a relationship with Jesus Christ, then that's all you're doing is going to church.
That's it. Punching a card.
Yeah.
What do you got? Old time preachers at one time, you're punching your heavenly time card, like a time clock. Going to church, going home, unless you have the relationship, it doesn't mean anything. So this guy's spot on. I heard him preaching, and my girls, they still talk about him. Said he was funny, Granddad. And he wasn't trying to be funny, but he was funny. So that was good. So do you still, I mean, do you coach wrestling? Do you help? You got little boys, you going to get them into wrestling and let them do what they want to do?
I just let them do what they want to do. Right now, my time is very, very limited. I want to put the Lord first. That's the most important thing, and I'd love to do that someday. But like I said before, I'm not doing anything that He don't want me to do. I think that I just, if the opportunities open up, then maybe I will. I don't know.
So I don't know much about back home they call it wrestling. I'm kind of country, but it's wrestling or whatever you say. Who's the, in your humble opinion, not the stuff you see on TV, the Hulk Hogan and all that, but as a true, was it Greco-American wrestling? Who was the greatest of all time? Gable?
Gable's right up there. There's a guy named John Smith that was incredible. There's the thing about wrestling that I like is you're thrown out there on the mat. You haven't got no excuses. You can't say, well, the lineman, it's the lineman, or it was the quarterback, or it was the or the center fielder, or whatever, or the center in basketball, whatever it would be. You're thrown out there and you've got a job to do. And so and not only that, but as a football player, as big as I am, I'm not big enough.
You're right.
But there's little guys that can go out there and wrestle and get a scholarship and do things. It's a lot of people, there's a lot of stigmas with it, but once you do it, you'll find out it's the hardest sport. I played football and I played basketball and baseball and all that stuff, but it's the hardest sport as far as endurance that you'll ever do.
I remember, of course, growing up in West Virginia, wrestling's big up there. I mean, I remember we used to have a big invitational in school time when they let out to school and had all these guys, like 25 or 30 teams come in and wrestle, and my buddies would get him weigh in and they'd have to lose pounds to hit the weigh in, and of course they would say, I think it was 3-minute rounds, I believe is what it was back in the day, a long time ago. But anyway, those guys come off there just soaked in sweat, and they would say, if you win, that's great. If you lose, there's no place to hide. If you get pinned, you kind of slither off the mat and kind of try to find a hole to crawl in because it's embarrassing. But you're right. If you succeed or if you don't succeed, it's all up to you, right?
That's right.
So it's good stuff. Very, very good stuff. And so close it out one more time. Look up there and tell them what you want to finish with. And we'll take a break and let your bride come in here. She wants to sing, and we're going to cut her loose and may have the whole place tore slap up when she gets done. But look up there one more time and tell them, would you please?
God bless you. I pray and hope that something spoke to your heart today. And we want to see, there's not one person that a true Christian wants to see to go to hell. We all want to see salvation, and you've got to do what your in your heart will tell you what you need to do.
There you go. Can't beat that with a big stick. We'll take a quick break, come right back, and we're going to go from the beast to the beauty. His lovely bride, she said she'd come here and sing, and then they're going to get something to eat. We'll take a break, and we'll talk a little NASCAR right after this. We'll be right back from Chick-Fil-A. Tomorrow will be at Champion Chevrolet. Then on Friday we'll be at Food City. Which one we're going to be at Friday? Food City State of Franklin, right around the corner of the brand new store, Derrick store. So it's a Food City Friday. And so we'll be right back after this to hear Miss Rebecca sing a little song and jump into some NASCAR here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import and Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400, your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitats, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show again. Don't forget, I'm going to drive it home. You got 2 weeks to enter to win 2 one-day tickets to Dollywood. All you got to do is go to TomTaylorSports.com/contest. We'll be announcing it in 2 weeks from Friday. We want to say thanks to our dear friend Jeremy Livesey. If you're getting ready to buy a home or refinance a home, this is the guy. Let's see, we were over there. Get them all mixed up now. From May to June, he had 27 closings. I talked to him last week when he said, man, I want to give away these tickets. And he's already working on like 25 or 30 closings for the end of June. So we got a brand new month. So can't go wrong with this guy. He does a wonderful job. But again, I want to say thanks to Jeremy because he gave us the tickets to one-day pass. I think they're over $100 a piece. And this young lady's with us. So I want her. Now I want to get it from a mama's perspective. We heard it from Papa Bear, went to Dollywood. So you've been to Dollywood, have you not?
Yes.
So look up in the camera. This is Rebecca Horniak. She's going to sing here for a minute. You sing on a sports show? Oh, yes. You can sing like a bird. But again, as a mama, tell them about the cool part for you, your first impression, bird's eye impression going to Dollywood.
I love Dollywood. I think a big part is I'm still a kid at heart, so when I go there, honestly, it's just an excuse for me to play, taking the kids. But the thing I love about Dollywood is it's very family friendly. So, and there's things for all ages, little kids, rides, there's roller coasters for the older ones. And even like in the big areas, they have stuff for the younger ones to do, if they can't ride the big roller coasters and you've got, so it's just very family friendly and I love it. I've ridden all the rides.
I was going to ask you, what's your favorite ride?
The Wild Eagle. I love it.
Is that this one? Is that this one, right? Is that the Wild Eagle?
Yes. Yes. Yep.
We go upside down and you hang off the
edge? Yes, I love it. Now, I like it better. The other roller coaster, like they're shaky, but the Wild Eagle is smooth. It's not the wooden roller coasters.
Not this chick.
My favorite.
Not this chickadee. Me and John will be standing on the ground. Have a good time. Would you ride it with her, the Wild Eagle?
He's ridden it before.
The seats are tight.
Yeah.
So, well, you two can ride. I'll be down on the ground going, hey, how y'all doing? Maybe I'll hang, because you go upside down, all the change will fall out of your pocket. I'll get some money for a candy apple or whatever. So it's a great place to go, Dollywood. Rebecca, we heard her sing a couple of weeks ago. Tell us real quick how everything's come into place for you. You've always wanted to teach at Tri-Cities, and it worked out. Tell us how that worked.
Well, I graduated in May from ETSU with my teaching degree, and my dream was to teach at Tri-Cities Christian School. My oldest one went there this past year, and there was an opening for 3rd grade, and I got the position, and I'm just beyond excited to be teaching there, and the rest of our kids will be going there too this year. So
Awesome.
It's a wonderful school, wonderful atmosphere, caring staff. I can't even explain how excited I am. So
I can tell you're buzzing. So
yeah.
So we went and spoke at his church a couple of weeks ago, and so she got up and sang, and I didn't know she would get up and sing. No reason why I would have, but she grabbed the microphone. Back up home, they call it a cappella instead of a cappella, but she grabbed and sang a song. So I said, "Would you please come and sing it at Chick-Fil-A?" She said, "In the middle of the restaurant." I said, "Yeah, I mean, I don't, you're just going to sing into the camera." But she sang a song called "Master the Wind," right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who wrote it. I've heard Candy Hemphill singing on the Gaithers, and I heard Cynthia Clausen singing on the Gaithers, and somebody else, but nobody touched it like you did. So I asked if you'd come and sing it, and you said, "Are you serious?" I said, "Yeah, I'm serious." And bring Papa Bear, and he can talk from his standpoint. So so this is how this guy works. He says, "Do you know A.J. Merriweather?" And I said, "A.J. Merriweather." I said, "The guy from East Tennessee State, just got the slam dunk guy that just got drafted to the Harlem Globetrotters." I said, "Yeah." I said, "He and I are pretty good friends." Like, "Oh, really? Think we can get him over?" "Yeah, I think I can make that happen." So, John, this guy knows everybody. So we'll, in a future show, bring him back and have A.J. Merriweather come speak on the show. Is he Christian? Is he really? Awesome. That is awesome. We've got NASCAR coming up. We've got some Major League Baseball. So you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Look in the camera, ladies and gentlemen. This lady can at least, she can sing. You'll see that real quick. And she's going to sing a verse and a chorus of Master the Wind.
My boat of life sails on a troubled sea. Ever there's a wind in my sail, but I have a friend who watches over me when the breeze turns into a gale. I know the master of the wind. I know the maker of the rain. He can calm the storms and make the sun to shine again. I know the master of the wind.
It's just so effortless. Like, okay, I'm done. Now what do you want? It's like I'm in concert. It's like karaoke on that song.
Oh,
Awesome.
Thank you.
Very good. Very good. Man, oh man. Whew. Got to me. Good stuff. So, do you? I know this is a stupid question. Do you sing other than just in the church? Do you sing other places?
Not really. I've sang with my daughter a little bit and just singing, in church, and I'm singing in another church too some. Just so it's kind of grown as the last couple of years we sing more together and we've been singing. So
We didn't even tell us the name of the church your husband pastors. So you're there too.
it's the Sheepfold. It's in Limestone, Tennessee.
Limestone, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
And services are what? It's 4:30 on Sunday.
Yes,
Yeah.
4:30.
Which I think is pretty cool. Most people think it's either 11 o'clock or 6 o'clock. And so when they said you're going to be at 4:30, I called him back and said, "Is that a typo?" He said, "No, 4:30." Okay. And it worked. And I know you're partial, but the old boy he's a pretty good preacher, ain't he?
Yes,
Yeah.
he is.
Yes, he is.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, you're
The
a
Lord
pretty
has
good
blessed
singer.
us. Thank you.
See, that's the beauty of going out and doing speaking on this for the Gideons. You never know who you're going to run into or what you're going to run up. Get a chance to meet and who you get to meet and get to run up and hang out with folks. So, good stuff. Will you come back again? Yeah. And bring AJ or just come by yourself. Would you come back and sing? What is your all-time favorite song?
I don't have
I'm
one
not
in
asking you to sing it
particular.
today, but if there was one that
Oh goodness, I go around singing all the time, so I don't have just one that just sticks out to me.
Okay. I'm going to ask you one for Christmas. You ever sing "Oh Holy Night"?
I have.
I can see you knocking the bottom out of that one too. So anyway, you guys are awesome. It's a great team, great family. Which one of the little boys is up there pounding the drums? You called him down that day.
It's either John or Lincoln.
Yeah, one of them you said they're all boys. I said, oh, I know. There's nothing wrong with that, being all boys. So go get yourself something to eat. Come back anytime. Thank you for what you said, and thank you for your singing.
Thank you for having us.
Blessings.
Thank you.
Quick break. We'll be right back. We're live here at Chick-Fil-A, show number 550, talking NASCAR next to the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
This is the place where you can forget all about work for a while and celebrate the good old U.S. of A. And take in the best bumper-banging, fist-waving, hero-making short track race of the year, the Bass Pro Shops NRA Night Race. And kids' tickets are just $10. Be there August 19th, because it ain't just another race. It's Bristol, baby.
Trucks, and more trucks at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. We have a huge selection of over 400 new Silverados to choose from, with over 700 total Chevrolets in stock, with savings that are bigger than our massive selection. Silverado Double and Crew Cab All-Stars, $11,000 off MSRP. Malibu LT, 20% off. 17 Colorado, $19,995. 17 Equinox, $21,445. Don't miss out on one of the best times to buy a new Chevrolet with savings that will leave you asking, how do they do that? At Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City.
At American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now, some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology has just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Back with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. We're live again here at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. So, man, that lady can sing. I'm telling you, gets to me. Whew. Know the master of the wind. Let's take a look at NASCAR. We've got on-track activities today. The Camping World Truck Series is getting ready to roll off, and they're going to be the Buckle Up Your Truck 225 tomorrow night at 7:30 Kentucky Speedway. And so the Camping World Truck Series first practice starts at noon, which is in 10 minutes. In fact, there's 3 practices. The first, second, and the final practice at 4 o'clock. So at noon, 2 o'clock, and 4 o'clock are all 3 practices. That'll be for today. Tomorrow you have on track the Xfinity Series practice. Then at 5 o'clock tomorrow night, the Camping World Truck Series Keystone Light pole qualifying at 5 o'clock. And then at 7:30, the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series Buckle Up Your Truck 225. William Byron, young man who's won back-to-back races in the Xfinity Series, will be the defending champ of that race. I don't know if he's going to be in the field or not. I have to double check. But again, the Buckle Up Your Truck 225 coming up again, 150-lap event tomorrow night at Kentucky Speedway. The Truck Series points right now: Johnny Sauter, Christopher Bale, Chase Briscoe, Matt Crafton, and Ben Rhodes are your top 5 right now in points. Then comes Grant Enfinger, Ryan Truex, John Hunter Nemechek, Noah Gragson, and Kaz Gralla are your top 10 in points. And Johnny Sauter with a 42-point lead right now over Christopher Bale in the Truck Series. Again, they'll race tomorrow night. And they buckle up. What I said was the buckle up in your truck 225 coming up tomorrow night at Kentucky Speedway. Then we go to, on Friday, you've got Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series practice on Friday. Then you have pole qualifying for both the Xfinity Series at 4:30 on Friday afternoon. And then, of course, the Cup Series Coors Light pole qualifying coming up at 6:15 on Friday. The ALSCO, ALSCO 300, that'll be coming up again at Kentucky Speedway at 8 o'clock on Friday night. Defending champ of that race is my man Kyle Busch. And so then coming up on Saturday will be the Quaker State 400 presented by Advance Auto Parts. That'll be at 7:30 on Saturday night. And the defending champ of that race is Brad Keselowski. So you look at the Xfinity Series points right now, it goes like this. Elliott Sadler, a 59-point lead over second place, William Byron. Justin Allgaier has dropped to 3rd. Brennan Poole is 4th. Daniel Hemrick 5th. Ryan Reed is 6th. Cole Custer is 7th. Matt Tiff is 8th. Darrell Wallace Jr. is 9th, although Bubba's not in the Xfinity Series any longer. And then rounding out the top 10 in points is Dakota Armstrong in the Xfinity Series. Then you look at the Cup Series, and you see the points as they head off at the Kentucky Speedway, where Keselowski is the defending champ of the race. Kyle Larson, Martin Truex Jr., Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, Brad Keselowski, the top 5. Then comes Chase Elliott, Jamie Johnson, Jamie McMurray, Denny Hamlin, and Clint Boyer round out the top 10. Again, Brad Keselowski, the defending champ of that race from a year ago, and Larson with an 18-point lead over Martin Truex Jr. in the standings as they head off to Kentucky Speedway here for the second race in July. Of course, they got a second half of the season got started, the Coke Zero 400 coming up, of course, last week, and won by, as you know by now, one with a very impressive performance by Ricky Stenhouse Jr. So he's won twice on the Super Speedway here in 2017. One other note, Brian Scott returning to the NASCAR Xfinity Series with a 2-race deal. Struck nearly 8 months after he announced his retirement from full-time competition. RCR Richard Childress Racing announcing the move. The 29-year-old driver will pilot the number 3 Chevrolet at Iowa Speedway at the end of July and Kentucky Speedway in September. And so the organization fielded Xfinity Series entries for Scott from 2013 through 2015. So Scott drove for 6 full seasons in the Xfinity Series before transitioning to Sunoco. Rookie of the Year campaign with Richard Petty Motorsports in 2016. He announced back in November he's going to step away from the sport, spend more time with the family. He has been lured back, of course. He has 2 victories at the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. Brian Scott also has 5 career pole positions in the Xfinity Series and 1 of the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series as well. So that's what's going on. Brian Scott's going to drive 2 Xfinity Series races for Richard Childress Racing. So there you go. And that's what's going on in NASCAR. Again, we've got more news coming up later on as the week unfolds. It's a triple header this week at Kentucky Speedway. Again, tomorrow night will be the Buckle Up in Your Truck 225 in the Camping World Truck Series. Also coming up on Friday night will be the ALSCO 300 in the Xfinity Series. Then wrapping things up again, the Quaker State 400 presented by Advance Auto Parts coming up on Saturday night. Brad Keselowski, the defending champ of that race. One of our great sponsors here on the show, again, show number 550, is the Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen. There it is, the sport bottle. Again, you see it says water resistant for 80 minutes. Well, The Federal Drug Administration only allows you to say 80 minutes, but you can actually, this particular product has been tried and true and tested 240 minutes, 4 hours. You can put this on or you have to reapply it. Again, Blue Lizard Australian sunscreen, that's the sport brand with the zinc oxide formula. And of course, the bottle changes color in harmful UV light. So you lay it out on the dashboard or wherever you want to lay it, and you'll see real quick, water resistant. And here you go on the back of this, full body protection for active people, SPF 30 plus. Again, broad spectrum UVA, UVB rays, water resistant for 80 minutes, although it actually stays on for 240 minutes. All this available again at Blue Lizard Sport. And again, you have that. You also have the for baby. There you go. Blue Lizard for the baby. Blue Lizard for sensitive skin. And Blue Lizard for specifically for your face. How about that? There you go. And all that available at all locations, including two of our great sponsors, Food City and Max Medicine Mart. So there you go. Hey, if you're coming into Chick-fil-A, check this out, the Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich right there. It is awesome. Again, Chick-fil-A grilled chicken. Oh, no. Grilled chicken with brown sugar and pepper blend bacon, topped with Colby Jack cheese with Smokehouse barbecue sauce, served on a toasted sweet yeast bun, available for a limited time. Check it out. This is awesome. The Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich here at Chick-fil-A. And also chase it with some watermelon mint lemonade. Fresh squeezed Chick-fil-A lemonade mixed with natural watermelon and mint flavors. For best results, stir before you sip. And also available diet lemonade and a lower calorie option. So there you go. That's for a limited time, a summertime drink. Of course, you can't go wrong with the peach milkshake. I love the peach milkshake because you get them big chunks of peaches stuck in the straw and you got to pull it up out of there and have to take the straw and jangle the straw. So it's good stuff. You see him sitting into the chair. That'll be our buddy Greg Salyer talking Major League Baseball. Lots going on. All-Star voting is wrapped up. We've got a whole stack of stuff to talk about, including his beloved Reds. Homer Bailey, pretty good performance last night after being shelled his first two times out. We'll run down the results, run down the schedule, and also tell you that Daniel Norris pitches tonight. Greg said this last week. I think he's right. Norris has got to have a heck of an outing tonight. He's really struggling, and so it's time for him to turn it up, and we'll do that. And we'll take a quick break, get him seated in, ready to go. We'll talk to Greg Salyer, Major League Baseball update next year, talking baseball on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. Diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of the patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4447. 39 years, 6 locations, 1 family. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, 1-800-524-4447. If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad-spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Back live with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us again on this Wednesday. In my travels, see, I think of this guy. I don't know why. I was in a sports shop yesterday, Saturday, whenever I was in the sports shop. No, it was yesterday, Monday. I don't know when it was. I took a couple days off. Anyway, I found this hanging on the wall, and I thought, I'm going to give this to my guy. So here you go. This is for you.
Oh, boy.
So, yeah. Oh, you'll like it.
Oh, boy. Oh, wow. Awesome.
There
awesome.
You go. Put that up on the look right there.
Yeah.
Big red.
Look at that.
How about that?
Awesome. That is me.
That look good on your car?
Absolutely. Yeah, that is me.
I'll send him a bill. It's only $24.95, Greg. No, that's your gift. Yeah, I just gave it back to me. I don't want it. That's pretty good. Here, if it's $24.95, I'm like that one, dog. It's yours. That's good. I didn't give you the bag to put it in so it doesn't get scuffed up.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.
See, I took a couple days off and on the road. I'm thinking, why did I think of my pastor and the god awful Reds? But I did. So anyway, we're here live again at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City.
Because nobody else would buy that. It was still there. It was still hanging there.
I will say that. Okay. I got it at a really good price.
Okay.
Yep. In fact, this is a retail place. I said, I'll go ahead and tell you the story.
Oh, no.
I said, how much is that? He said, how much would you give for it? I said, the red stuff a little slow. He said, oh, it's real slow. I said, okay. So I went in and paid full price. So 48 cents I think I can afford. So I paid. Anyway, he got him a Duflachi license plate for his car, and that's good. So we're here live at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. So All-Star Game rosters have been announced, and run them down, big guy. I think it looked like the Yankees racked up and the Dodgers racked up, and there was another team that had a bunch of them.
Yeah, it was Houston and the Astros, Indians, Yankees, and Nationals all are sending 5 players to Miami, and actually there could be more for that as well with the final vote that's coming up, and we'll talk about that. But for the most part, the fans did a great job in voting. Most of these guys are the guys that are in, or the guys that I voted for as well. I mean, the National League team, look at this. One guy was voted in that wasn't on my list, and I can't make an argument against him. And to be honest, I did vote for him about 3 or 4 of my 35 votes. So, the fans did a great job. The only player that I voted for who is not on the team is Adam Duvall for the Reds, and we'll talk about him a little later. But I think the fans got it right. Of course, I stopped voting for Mike Trout after he got hurt. I just couldn't do that because I didn't think he would be playing. He will not be playing. Mookie Betts is going to be starting in his place in the outfield for the American League. One surprise for me: Justin Smoke starting at first base for the American League. I thought that was a little bit of a surprise. I had voted for Yonder Alonso, and he's on the team, but he will not be starting. Another late addition to the starting lineup was Jose Ramirez from the Cleveland Indians. I'd been voting for Miguel Sano. He got all 35 of my votes because he's having an incredible season. But you can't argue with Ramirez either. You know, he's hitting for power and for average both. So you can't argue with either one of those guys. Both of them are on the team. Glad to see Corey Dickerson starting at DH for the American League as well. The guy I think really deserved it.
Let's run them down. Let's go down position by position because the American Leagues are in. So let's start with, we'll put them right here, and we'll go to start with the outfield. You've got Yankee, Angel, Astro. This is the American League starting lineup, all-star votes. Yankee, Angel, Astro. Tell me who those guys are.
Yeah, Aaron Judge for the Yankees, the top vote getter in the American League. The guy that is he's a rookie. He probably already has Rookie of the Year sewed up by the halfway point. I mean, his numbers are already good enough to win it. So, this guy is just knocking the cover off the ball, 27 home runs already. And, top vote getter in the American League, and rightly so. The best player at this point in time, well, since Mike Trout's been hurt at least, in the American League.
So you got Trout. Now, if he can't go, there'll be a substitute. But right now, he is. We'll have to wait and see. I don't know if he's going to let him come back or not. You and I talked about this last week. The Angels will be nuts at the stretch run here to try and get him in the playoffs to jeopardize this guy in the All-Star game. But then I see his point. It's an honor to be selected by the fans, so it's kind of a catch-22. But he is the other outfielder. Then you look at the other outfielder, George Springer's having a heck of a year with the Astros.
Yeah, he is. And, they've been batting him leadoff, and that's sort of been a surprise for me. But because this guy's got incredible power, but he's also showing that he can be a leadoff hitter as well. Now with Trout, I think what they're going to do is I think he'll be there. I think he'll be in the dugout, be involved in all the pregame celebrations, all the things they do there. But I don't expect him to play at all. I think he'll be replaced on the roster. I think he'll be ineligible to play. And Mookie Betts has already been named the starter in his place for the Boston Red Sox. So I think we'll see him there, but not playing at all. So.
And you got George Springer, as you said, the other outfielder. Then catch, you got Salvador Perez from the Royals.
Yeah, Salvador Perez. Not much of a surprise. This is I don't know, 2 or 3 in a row for Salvador Perez as a starter. Some other guys maybe had numbers that compared with his, but overall, I don't think you could argue with Salvador Perez as the starting catcher.
Talking to Greg Sire, of course, see on the screen the Major League Baseball update going on. First baseman, Toronto Blue Jays. You mentioned Justin Smoke. Second baseman, Houston Astros, Jose
Altuve.
Jose
Altuve, yeah.
Altuve.
One of the smallest guys in baseball. This guy's like 5'7", probably weighs 140 pounds dripping wet, but can hit the ball a mile. I didn't personally vote for him a lot because I think Starlin Castro from the Yankees is having a better season. I think his numbers have dropped off considerably, though, in the last couple of weeks. So you can't argue with Jose Altuve starting at second base.
Shortstops from the Houston Astros, who's that?
Carlos Correa, young player, guy that's going to be an all-star for years to come. This is his first selection to the team, and definitely not his last. We're going to see him probably as an all-star starter for the next 10 years off and on.
We're talking to Greg Sire, the third baseman from the Cleveland Indians. This is the starting lineup for the All-Star. The All-Star ballots or the All-Star rosters have been announced, so we're going with starting lineups today. So third baseman is who?
Jose Ramirez from the Indians, guy that was real instrumental with them in the playoffs last year in the World Series. Really made a name for himself. I think that helped him get elected. And, like I said, I voted for Miguel Sano. But yeah, you can't argue with Jose Ramirez either.
Let's run down the starting pitchers. You got 4 starting pitchers have been named. Red Sox, Twins, Royals, Indians.
Yeah, Chris Sale from the Red Sox, he's got to be there, one of the best pitchers in the American League. Irvin Santana, interesting thing about Santana, this is his first selection in about 8 years. So he was an All-Star, I think, in 2009, and is now an All-Star again in 2017. Wide span there between All-Star selections, but, good, solid pitcher, guy who deserves to be there. Jason Vargas from the Kansas City Royals, another starter who has had good enough numbers to make this team. And, of course, Corey Kluber from the Cleveland Indians, one of the best starters in all of baseball.
The relief pitcher of the All-Star team of the American League, Andrew Miller from the Indians, Craig Kimbrell from the Red Sox, a couple other starting pitchers from one from the Astros who's on the shelf, And also starting pitcher, a couple of more, well, actually 3 or 4 more. Run down the rest of those guys.
Yeah, Dallas Keuchel from the Astros. They have not named a starter yet. I would imagine it will be him unless he pitches on Sunday. He will be probably the all-star starter for the American League. If not, then look for Chris Sale to be that guy. Luis Severino from the Yankees, put up good numbers. A little surprised the Yankee pitcher made it this year, but they're having a phenomenal season, and he would be the guy. Yu Darvish from the Texas Rangers, guy that was hurt last year, didn't have a chance to play in the All-Star game, of course, but glad to see him back. And then Michael Fulmer from the Tigers, first selection for him, third-year player, I believe, and good to see him make the All-Star team. Lance McCullers, another starter from the Houston Astros. Their pitching is one of the reasons they are where they are, with the best record in baseball. So why not? They need those guys there. And then Dellin Betances. The good thing about some of these relievers like Betances and Andrew Miller, it shows you don't have to be a closer to make the All-Star team as a reliever. And, I like that. Everyone should have a chance to make the team, and some of these guys who are not closers are on the team. Interesting, Betances is on the team, and the closer for the Yankees, Aroldis Chapman, is not on the team.
Yes, that's very interesting. No question. The Flamethrowers not on the roster. We're talking again to Greg Salyer. See on the screen the Major League Baseball update. Talk a little baseball right here. Don't forget to be sure and register to win 2 tickets to Dollywood. I can give it away 2 weeks from Friday. Just go to TomTaylorSports.com/contest. Already we've got entries from West Virginia, Ohio, Tennessee, North Carolina. So it can be yours. 2 one-day passes. You can use them anytime you want. Use them in July. Use them during the fall season when all the arts and crafts and all the fall festivals going on down at Dollywood. Or you can go back and do it at Christmas time. Whenever you want to do it, it's good through the end of the park closing. So, again, if you get a chance, you definitely want to do that. And so you've been down there. Give us your impression of Dollywood.
Yeah, I love Dollywood. It's been a year or so since I've been able to go. But, love to go there. We had season passes and used them a lot. So I've ridden pretty much I haven't been on that newest roller coaster that they have, but I've ridden everything else probably in the park, and just love to go there, and great place for the family.
You look up and down the starting lineup of the National League. Rockies, Nationals, Marlins, Giants, Reds. Pretty good. Really, it's been pretty dominating by 3 teams. Let's start the outfield. The All-Star lineup has been announced for the National League. You've got Rocky, National, Marlins in the outfield. Tell me about it.
Yeah, Charlie Blackmon from the Rockies. This guy's hitting for average and power. He's going to be in the Home Run Derby, which is a little bit of a surprise for me as well. But, glad to see this guy make an All-Star team and be a starter. This is not the first time he's been an All-Star, but this is his first time starting. Bryce Harper, the #1 vote getter in all of baseball for the All-Star team. And, he was a no-doubt All-Star, I think, from the beginning of the season. He's put up phenomenal numbers once again, and well-deserving. Marcell Ozuna, the only player on there that I didn't list as my top choice to start in the National League, but you can't argue with the guy. He hits for power. He's a center fielder. He's going to be playing in his home ballpark. Glad to see that a home player for the Miami Marlins is going to be starting this game. So he happened to be the guy over Giancarlo Stanton.
This guy's the starting catcher of the National League All-Stars. This got a great catcher's name. His name is Buster. You got to like a guy behind the plate named Buster.
Yeah, Buster Posey. He was another no-brainer vote. I mean, this guy is hitting. If you compare averages of catchers in baseball, he is by far the highest average hitter. And just a great defensive catcher. Guy that, if anybody deserved to start this game, Buster Posey deserved to start.
We're talking to Greg Salyer. We're talking Major League Baseball. We've got more news coming up. Again, Daniel Norris pitches tonight with the Detroit Tigers against San Francisco in Detroit. I don't know if it's a must situation, but it's getting close because I noticed in watching the blogger for the Tigers, they're calling up a couple more pitchers from the AAA club. So Daniel Norris needs to have a good outing tonight. We hope that he does, and we'll talk more about that with Greg here in a second. Around the infield, first base, National. Second base, National. Shortstop, a Red. And then third base, a Rocky. Tell us about it.
Yeah, these guys, these are the 4 guys that I've been voting for the whole time. Ryan Zimmerman just having a phenomenal season. He's I think 32 years old this year. He's a veteran. He's been around. It's not his first All-Star game. It is his first start, and excited to see him. Daniel Murphy, if you compare his numbers to every other second baseman, he shines. He is by far the best player for that position in the National League. Zach Cozart gets his donkey. That is amazing. Joey Votto promised Zach Cozart, if you get voted in as the starter for the All-Star team, I will buy you a donkey. And he gets a donkey. And Votto says he's bringing it in the clubhouse. He said it will be there at the clubhouse, and they'll have to do something with it. They'll have to find somewhere to put it. But and the problem with that is Zach's wife. I think they have two homes. They have a place in Cincinnati. Also, I think he's from Collierville, Tennessee. So but his wife says we don't have anywhere in either one of those places to put a donkey. But he's going to have a donkey, and he's always wanted a donkey, and evidently he's talked about wanting a donkey so much that Joey Votto says, you make the All-Star team, I'll buy you a donkey. So he gets his donkey.
Tied off on the dugout railing, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. Let it go. And then Nolan Arenado. I mean, how can you argue with this guy? A guy that hits for power and average and is perhaps the best defensive third baseman in at least the National League, and probably only Manny Machado might keep him from getting that in all of baseball.
I want to give a big shout out to folks watching. Austin Williams and Teresa Boer, thank you. Flem and Sandy Arrowwood and David Martin up in Cincinnati, thank you. And Boggs Diamond likes the Tom Taylor Sports Show at Chick-Fil-A, so thanks guys and ladies for giving us a watch and listen. Those are some of the folks that are dialed in or tuned in. Of course, this will go up on Facebook, so you can go back and watch it anytime you want to. Go back and it's archived, and we'll put that up as soon as the show's over. Dave Angie joins us coming up at the top of the hour. So there's the All-Star rosters, although we didn't get into the starting pitchers, did we? I don't think we did.
No, not in the National League.
Starting pitchers, do we have those?
Yeah, we got pitchers here. Clayton Kershaw, Max Scherzer, Carlos Martinez, Robbie Ray, Zach Greinke as well, Steven Strasburg,
Kenley Jansen.
Yeah, I would love to. Can you imagine having a rotation with some of these guys? Who do you start? Do you start Clayton Kershaw or Max Scherzer?
That's tough. I'd probably go I'd probably go Kershaw.
Yeah, he started last year, and you think, okay, yeah, probably so. There was one guy on the radio the other day. He said, if it was me and I didn't have to play all these other guys, he said I'd pitch Kershaw 4 innings and finish it up with Scherzer and let that be it.
Yep.
And maybe bring in Jansen for the 9th. But
that's pretty strong. You got Strasburg coming too.
Yeah.
Greinke, Wade Davis from the Cubs, Brad Hand from the Padres, Corey Nebel from the Brewers, Pat Neshek from the Phillies. And so these guys, it's the deal. I mean, it's coming up next week in Miami, the All-Star game, so they are the starting rosters. Let's run down the finals from yesterday, and then we'll jump into matters at hand. The Nationals beat the Mets 11-4. Blue Jays over the Yankees 4-1. Detroit 5, San Francisco 3. Twins beat the Angels 5-4. Marlins over the Cardinals 5-2. Greg hates that. Rays over the Cubs 6-5. Boy, Greg hates that. A's over the White Sox 7-6. Pirates keep an eye on Pittsburgh. They blanked the Phillies 3-0. Everybody beats the Phillies except the Reds. Brewers over the Orioles 6-2. I'm just throwing them digs out. He's going to come back on me in a minute. Royals beat the Mariners 7-3. Padres blanked the Indians 1-0. Astros had a field day against the Braves 16-4. Ouch. Red Sox over the Rangers 11-4. Reds beat the Rockies 8-1 behind Homer Bailey, and the Dodgers beat the Diamondbacks 4-3. So let's see. Good night for David Price and the Red Sox. Red Sox won last night, the 6th in a row. David Price, who's had problems with the media, got into a scuff with Dennis Eckersley, one of the television commentators, former big league pitcher.
Hall of Fame big league pitcher.
Yeah, Hall of Fame guy. I don't know why he'd argue with him. He's pretty low key. And what he called him out on was not a big deal, but Price went nuts. But anyway, he has come back and had a pretty good outing. Tell us about it.
Yeah, he needed a big outing. Being hurt like he was early in the season, starting the season as late as he did, he came back and, the Red Sox won his first start, but he didn't get the win. He pitched okay, not great. His second outing, maybe not as good. Okay, it's Boston. The fans are tough. They're very tough. The media is tough, not quite as bad as New York, but probably second to New York. And Price has shown, he doesn't have very thick skin. So
he's a ninny.
So he's taken a lot of grief from some of these guys, and when Eckersley just called him out, he was just like, well, he took exception to it, and to me, you guys have to consider the source of who's coming after you with some of these things. If a Hall of Fame pitcher is criticizing you, listen. There may be some truth to what he is saying.
There's merit.
Yes. Now,
me and Greg, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Dennis Eckersley calls you out, probably need to sit up and take notice.
Yeah, absolutely. So, that's about all I have to say about that, I think.
There you go. And you've said plenty. Braves, switching gears, we got lots to cover here. Braves, Freddie Freeman plays third for the first time in the bigs. What do you think?
Yeah, love that. They made that trade. Freeman breaks his wrist. They make this trade with the Cardinals, and they got Matt Adams from the Cardinals, a guy that wasn't even playing for the Cardinals and came over and started knocking the cover off the ball for the Braves. He showed that he deserves to be in that lineup even when Freddie Freeman comes back. So, this is a big deal to take a guy who is an established all-star first baseman and move him to third base, just so you can have a place to play a guy who probably can't play third base, who's going to be either a first baseman, maybe a corner outfielder, but they don't need a corner outfielder. So, the third baseman's not been hitting. He's a guy that they could replace. Freddie Freeman is going to produce no matter where you put him in the lineup and no matter where you put him on the field, I think. And he showed that he's capable of doing this. And I think it's great. I'm not a huge Braves fan, but, I am a Freddie Freeman fan because he is such a great guy and a great player. And I think this is a wonderful move, and I hope it goes well for the Braves.
Talking to Greg Salyer, lots of baseball going on. It's that time of season. It's the All-Star game coming up next week. And again, reminding you, the All-Star game no longer decides home field advantage in the World Series. That's been voted out by the commissioners. So whoever wins the game just for pride, it doesn't really have that much bearing except for pride. World Series managers Terry Francona for the Indians and Joe Madden for the Cubs will pick the starting pitchers. There's a home run derby coming up next week, and we'll talk more about that, of course. And see, next week will be what night's All-Star game? Tuesday.
Tuesday. So it'll be over.
It'll be over next Wednesday when Greg comes back in. Hey, the Royals. Let's talk about the Central race right now. You've got Milwaukee 3.5 better than the Cubs. Pittsburgh or the Cardinals. Let's see. Cardinals are 7 back. I'm sorry, I read it wrong. Cardinals are 4.5 back. The Pirates are 7.5 back. So Pittsburgh beginning to get. Nope, I read wrong. They lost 4 in a row, so never mind. Milwaukee's 1-2. They're on top of the division. Any surprises there as we head to the All-Star break since the last time we talked?
No. I think it's of course Milwaukee being on top. We didn't expect that at the beginning of the season. Now we see how good they really are, and I think they'll be buyers maybe at the trade deadline. I think there's a couple spots they're going to stick somebody in there, I think that's kind of where we expected to see these teams, except for maybe the Cubs. Did you realize, too, when we're talking about the All-Star rosters, the Cubs had 7 guys make the All-Star team last year. This year they have 1. And it's a relief pitcher.
Bill Hand. No.
Greg Holland.
Yeah.
So, so here they are, and they have a possibility of having a second player. They have a possibility of Chris Bryant getting the final vote, but right now I think he's in second place for that, so he's not in position to get that.
We talked about Ned Yost being in trouble a couple of weeks ago as a manager. All of a sudden the Royals have caught fire, and they're now in the race, and they're only I got them there, a game and a half behind Cleveland in the Central. So these guys have caught fire. Royals are in it now.
They have. I really thought that when they lost Yordano Ventura before the season started, when he passed away, that I thought that would be too much for them to overcome. But it appears that they, even with their losing their ace like that they are able to come back, and they have shown they're going to at least compete in that American League Central Division. And good for them. I hope they're there at the end of the season fighting it out the last week of the season for that division title.
Tom Taylor Sports Show. We're live at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. 550th show. They said it wouldn't work, wouldn't last, and here it is. It's the Lord's show, by the way. You heard the verse of the day earlier. It is, commit your works to me, and your thoughts will be established, out of the book of Proverbs. So that is the verse of the day. We unashamedly dedicate the show to the Lord Jesus, and so the show goes as far as he wants it to go, and we're at number 550. We're hanging. We're doing okay. The big dog went deep again last night. Aaron Judge, 28th home run of the season for the Yankees. He is, check this out, one home run shy of the Yankees' rookie record for home runs, which was held by a guy by the name of Jolton Joe DiMaggio. That is, he's on pace to hit 55 home runs this season. Guy hit 28, not even at the All-Star break. Incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think I said 27 earlier. I forgot about last night. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he is. I mean, you know, when you're a rookie and they build something out there in right field where you're playing, just for your fans to sit in, and they call it the judges' chambers. They give them a black robe to wear, and they sit out there and they can cheer on Aaron Judge. You know, this guy is a legitimate superstar. I mean, and where did he come from?
Yeah,
you know,
that's why
we didn't hear anything about him coming up.
No, I didn't either.
And all of a sudden, he shows up, and boom, he's taken over.
Here's some quick hits, and we'll get into some snubs when we get finished up here again. Corey Kluber, the pitcher for the Indians, set a franchise record by striking out 10 or more batters in his 5th straight start, which is incredible. His manager, Terry Franconi, back in the hospital again, undergoing some more medical tests, so we wish the very, very best from him. Also, you have the Cubs activating Jason Hayward from the disabled list. Yankees activated CC Sabathia and Adam Warren from the DL. They're trying to get themselves healthy. Umpire Angel Hernandez suing Major League Baseball on grounds of alleged racial discrimination. Here we go again. And then this is kind of a bizarre story. The A's, a Mets AAA reliever was attacked by a homeless person with a tire iron outside the stadium. So this guy just jumped on him and started beating him with a tire iron, so that you change your tires with. So kind of bizarre. Yeah. We got Dave Angie. Speaking of bizarre, Dave Angie's coming up here in a few minutes. That's a good segue. But before we let him go, he's getting ready to go eat. He and his shadow. Before we let him go, guys, real quick, that got snubbed by the All-Star votes that you feel like should have been in there.
Yeah, American League. Let's talk about some guys. You know, Chris Davinsky, relief pitcher for the Astros. You know, this guy is having a phenomenal season. His ERA is 2.23. He's averaging 12.3 Ks per 9 innings. I mean, that's pretty strong. So, you know, I guess they didn't want a 6th Astro to be in the All-Star game, so Chris Davinsky did not make the team. Aaron Hicks from the Yankees, you know, another one of these young players that the Yankees have brought up, and he's been hurt, so I think that was one of the reasons that he's not there and what hurt him. But, you know, this guy's having a great season as well, 290 average, 10 home runs, and Andrelton Simmons from the Angels. I saw him play when he was playing for Atlanta and Cincinnati, and he hit 2 bombs that were just unbelievable there at Great American Ballpark. And, you know, he's having a great year as well. One of the greatest defensive shortstops in baseball, but also not on the team. And then another one, I'll mention one more from the American League, and that is Marcus Stroman. He started off the season a little slow. You know, did great in the World Baseball Classic. Pitched the United States team to their championship there. But started off the season slow after that, and perhaps that's what cost him. But a guy that probably should be there, but is not.
There you go.
Can I talk about the National League?
Sure.
Yeah, got a few guys from the National League. Adam Duvall from the Reds. You know, 19 home runs so far. The guy's slugging really good. Let me mention a pitcher. We talked about pitching. Gio Gonzalez from the Washington Nationals. Guy's got a 2.77 ERA. He may be as good a pitcher as the Nationals have, and they have 2 other starters that are on the All-Star team. So, you know, he's been quiet, but doing good. Let me mention a Cardinal, Jed Jerko. Unfortunately for Jerko, there's a lot of third basemen in the National League that should be on the All-Star team. But he he's having a breakout season, I think, and he had a good season last year, but I think this year is even better. And then another third baseman, the Milwaukee Brewers, Travis Shaw. Boy, wouldn't the Red Sox love to have had him? Wouldn't they have loved to have kept him instead of where they are now?
Well, Pablo.
Yeah, but Travis Shaw deserves to be there, and he's not going. But another guy that I think could have been there, but is not.
Last thing before I let you go, Daniel Norris pitches tonight. Needs to really come out strong. He struggled by his own admission. Last time he got shelled pretty good, so he really needs to come out against a pretty good chance to do it against a very poor San Francisco team tonight in interleague play in Detroit. Norris at 4-6 and really needs to come out guns a-blazing tonight.
Yeah, 3 things he needs to do in this game. He needs to be able to repeat his delivery. If he can do that, he can fool these hitters. He can do that. He needs to go long into the game. He doesn't need to throw 5 innings. He needs to pitch 7 innings tonight. He needs to go long in the game, and he needs to hit his spots. He needs to have command. He needs to make sure that he's throwing the ball where he wants to throw it. And he doesn't have to throw the ball 100 miles an hour to get this win. All he needs to do is hit his spots and have the ball do what he needs it to do and what he wants it to do. And he's going to get a lot of swings and misses.
There you go. If he does all that, he's going to be in good shape. If he doesn't, I don't want to wish anything bad on him, but I'm telling you,
we're pulling for this guy.
Pulling for this guy. But Detroit's called up a couple of pitchers from the Triple-A, so he's got to produce. Here's your schedule, by the way. First off, in the American League day games, Toronto at New York, Tampa Bay at Chicago against the Cubs interleague play, and the White Sox in Oakland. Tonight under the lights, Baltimore, Milwaukee, San Diego at Cleveland interleague play. Of course, San Francisco and Detroit, same. Houston and Atlanta, same. Boston and Texas. This is kind of interleague weekend or interleague week.
Yeah.
The Angels at Minnesota, and Kansas City at Seattle. In the National League, which is really not National League because, again, it's all interleague play. Tampa Bay, as we told you, Chicago. The Mets will be in Washington. That's straight up. Pittsburgh and Philadelphia, that's straight up. Baltimore, Milwaukee, that's interleague. San Diego at Cleveland. As we said, the Giants in Detroit to battle Norris and the Tigers. Houston and Atlanta. Jaime Garcia at 2-8, tough luck pitcher on the mound for the Bravos tonight. Miami and St. Louis, Edison Volquez against Mike Leake, 2 former Reds.
Yeah.
Night game at Busch Stadium. The Redlegs will be Feldman on the mound in Colorado, 8:40 first pitch, and Arizona will take on the Dodgers again. Who's Wood? You talk about Clayton Kershaw. Here's Wood for the Dodgers at 9-0. This guy's had he's had a heck of a year. Kershaw's getting all the pub, but this guy's quietly behind him. 9-0. That's pretty strong. Kershaw got 13th yesterday, 12th or 13th win of the season.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Wood, I tell you, I saw him pitch against the Reds, and I mean, a lot of pitchers have done this year, but he made them look like minor leaguers. I mean, he really did. He just
toyed with them.
Yeah, he did.
What's going on at the church house Sunday?
Oh, Sunday morning, we're going to be in Acts chapter 8, talking about how God wants us scattered. I can't wait to explain what that means. But he uses that word. I mean, that's the word from the scripture, scattered.
Out of what book?
Acts chapter 8.
Acts chapter 8.
And it's actually in there several times. So we're going to back up to Genesis and look at what the Bible has to say about it there as well. So God wants us scattered. A couple different ways he wants us scattered, and we're going to look at that and see what it meant then and what it means for us now.
There you go. Good job. Give me some taters.
Thanks,
Can I
sir.
show them the license plate one more time?
Yeah, absolutely.
It cost me $24.95. Greg said it cost you that much. There you go. He's happy. It cost you that much, you can have it back. Okay. Dave, would you wear this? Would you put this on your car? No. Boy, that was kind of a sour look. On that note, we'll take a break, and Dave Angie joins us next here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. It is lunchtime at Chick-Fil-A, I can tell you that. It is hopping, but there's room for you. Great job, thank you.
Thank you.
Yep, super job. Quick break, we'll be right back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400. Your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-Fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-Fil-A. Chick-Fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
Back on the Tom Daly Sports Show, there it is. Enter to win at the TomDalySports.com contest. All you got to do, and again, we're going to give it away 2 weeks from Friday, thanks to Jeremy Livesey at JeremyLivesey.com. Jeremy said, I want to give away some tickets on your show to Dollywood. So I said, well, as the old boy said in the Aladdin, your wish is my command. So there it is, and all you got to do is go to TomDalySports.com/contest. Again, entries already from obviously here in Tennessee, from West Virginia, from Ohio, and from North Carolina. So good luck. Somebody's going to win 2 one-day passes to Dollywood. Here's my man. He's in the house, Dave Angie from the Johnson City Press, fresh off vacation. You've been to Dollywood, haven't you?
I have, man.
Yeah,
I have.
Tell me from Angie's perspective about Dollywood.
I'll tell you, there are more roller coasters at that place than you can shake a stick at. And went out there, and I'll tell you, they've added so much onto that from when I was a younger fella. And we take the kid out there and just turn her loose, and there's stuff to keep her busy all day. She's really big on the rides and all that, and it's a good time, man. It's a fun time, and then that doesn't even take into account Splash Country over there, which I like the lazy river. That's my speed right there, because you just get it. Once you get in the tube, your work is done. It'll float you around all day. Yeah.
So when you go to Dollywood, do you one of the older people sit on the bench and just do you get on the rides with the family, or do you sit over there and they say, honey, come back in a half hour, I'll be sitting right here? Or how's that work
man.
today?
See, I used to ride everything, but over the last 5 years or so, I've kind of transitioned to where I'll ride most stuff, but got to take a breather every now and then. I get a little nervous. I don't know what it is, but I do more people watching now, which I think is kind of my life is changing, and I'll be one of those old guys in the coveralls sitting there on the bench here before long. eating that cinnamon bread and watching people walk by. So, yeah.
Having a cinnamon bread and some coffee, just sitting there with a little fishing derby hats on. Just Dave.
Just watching.
In the
just
bench
watching.
by himself.
Yeah. That's what it's
bench.
coming to, and I've come to know that the first step to this is just accepting. You accept it. It's happening. It's going to happen. So.
Yes, just accept it.
So if you're at Dollywood, just check out the benches. Look for me.
See a little guy with a little fishing hat on. You know what I'm talking about? A little derby.
Oh yeah.
A little fishing lid, whatever you call it. Just sitting there with his sunglasses on, just with some cinnamon bread and coffee, waiting for Mama and the child to come back.
I had my floppy fishing hat on last week when I was on vacation. I didn't have any lures in it or anything.
Oh, really?
But yeah, I did. I went up. We were fishing up some streams up there in North Georgia, and I was had my floppy hat on for that.
Awesome.
So yeah.
Is there any pictures floating around of that?
There are, yeah.
I'd
there
like
are.
to see those.
Yeah, there are. I've got one or two. So
I would like to see those. That'd be good. So, did you catch any flack over the award when you were down in Georgia? Did you have to? How'd that go for you?
I got to look at the trophy a couple times. It's up on the mantle there, So from an acceptable distance, I got to look at what once belonged to me for 3 years.
Look,
and
but not touch.
yeah, that's how it was. And but no, we had a good visit down there, all things considered. So
there you go.
Yep.
He's recharged the battery. He's back. Of course, he was off last week. Appreciate him. He needs to get away. We all need to get away and recharge the battery, and he's back and ready to roll. I don't know where. I guess we'll jump in and talk a little NASCAR. But Ricky Stenhouse Jr. gets 2 super speedway wins, Talladega and Daytona. That has really springboarded Roush Fenway Racing. I mean, they needed a shot in the arm, and boy, they've gotten it. So this is really good for them to springboard into the second half of the season.
Yeah, it helps them because they're guaranteed having a car into the chase now, which means millions of dollars they wouldn't have gotten otherwise. And that's a race team that can use millions of dollars because, as we see on every other track, where they don't have restrictor plates to kind of choke off that horsepower, they struggle at times to be able to compete with people, at the 1.5 and 2 mile tracks. And, knowing Roush Fenway folks, I mean, they're smart people. They've been kind of behind the curve, and, a little bit extra money in their R&D department will help kind of turn them around a little bit. I think they made a smart move. I was reading the other day that, they're talking about not expanding their team any further than what it is now. They're just going to keep it with the cars they have, not try to add anybody, and I think that's great. Until they get competitive everywhere, they need to take the resources they get. These couple wins, this gives them momentum. That really helps a race shop. But they're going to get a little extra money that comes with that too, and they're going to help slowly build themselves back up. Once you fall behind in NASCAR, catching up is no fun at all, and they've been kind of on that task for a while.
Well, you look at the NASCAR, of course, getting ready to race in Kentucky, which is one of Bruton's tracks coming up again, triple header. Tomorrow night, trucks. Friday night, of course, would be the Xfinity Series, and Saturday will be the Cup Series at Quaker State 400 presented by Advance Auto Parts. So you look at the second half of the season, you look at Roush Fenway Racing points-wise, you've got Trevor Bayne at 19th and Stenhouse Jr. at 16th. So, and Ricky's slowly moving up by virtue of the wins, but the bottom line is it brings notoriety to the team, brings money to the team, and so could this guy, of course he's building his resume, could this guy be one that somebody like Rick Hendry go tap on his shoulder to bring him over to take Junior's spot? Is that a possibility?
It's possible, and it's sometimes tough to assess drivers when they're in equipment that isn't as good as your equipment. Sometimes you have to be able to look at it and see, okay, where is this the fault of the driver? Where is it the fault of the team? Where is it the fault of the equipment? And there's ways, the good team owners can figure that out. I've seen some drivers over the years that have been really good equipment. And everybody says, oh, man, this guy can drive the wheels off of it. You move him over to another race team, take him out of that environment, and he kind of falters a little bit. And the other team doesn't miss a beat. So, that's the one thing is assessing driver talent when you're an owner and you're trying to watch people drive around in other people's equipment, figure out how that would translate to yours. And even above and beyond that, we've seen with all these race teams, they all have their own culture. With Hendrick being such a button-down organization, then you have somewhere like Stewart-Haas where it seems a little more, Tony Stewart kind of running the show. They're a little more Wild West in terms of, drivers can be themselves, a little more personality. You can let your hair down over there a little bit. So, there's a lot to figure out there. And, of course, the big kicker is trying to figure out how these drivers are going to be able to fit in with your sponsors. And everybody has kind of a little group of sponsors they have that are either associate or the main sponsors on the race cars, and how is your driver going to fit into the culture there? And that's a big deal and a big thing and something. But you look at Stenhouse winning a couple of these restrictor plate races. Yeah, that's good for him. I think that there's some people that are going to want to see that happen more often on short tracks and intermediate tracks, I think, before he makes a move up.
Talking to Dave Vaughn, you see on the screen with the Johnson City Press, conventional thinking would be, at least in the way I think of this, if Stenhouse can win with less than good equipment, because obviously Roush Fenway's equipment and the money and the deep pockets doesn't begin to touch Joe Gibbs or Penske or Rick Hendrick, some of these other teams, Stuart Haas. So if he's winning with Roush Fenway equipment, then my brain, maybe I'm wrong, I'm thinking, okay, you put him into a junior seat or a Casey Kane seat or I don't know if Danica's going to be gone. I've talked to some people since you and I visited 2 weeks ago, said there's not a chance she's leaving Stuart Haas because she brings money to the table and she's very marketable. But, the bakery place, Nature's Bakery, dried up on them. Like at Aspen Dental, she's running some of the circuit without a full sponsorship, so I don't totally agree with that. But anyway, they said just she'll stay put. They're not going to get rid of her unless she wants to leave. But again, back to then the Stenhouse, again, if he can win with Roush equipment, does that make him look even more attractive to some of the big teams that have deep pockets and much better equipment?
Well, I think going back to the fact that it's a restrictor plate race kind of really, really makes somebody think twice because of the fact, restrictor plate tracks, I mean, that's a free-for-all. We've seen a lot of really, really wild winners. Of course, the fact that he's won 2 may add some credence to the fact that, he may be a guy with a higher degree of talent than some. But, I think if you see a driver, and drivers talk about this all the time about Bristol, and you hear it from Justin Allgaier is the guy I talked to in the spring who really had a breakthrough win at Bristol. Brad Keselowski in the Xfinity Series really had a breakthrough win. When he won at Bristol, it turned heads because there's a certain few tracks that if you win there, it means more than other tracks. You look at Darlington, you look at Bristol, I think you look at Indianapolis, kind of a flatter track, a lot of prestige there. But when you see drivers win on kind of a variety of tracks, and especially the tough ones, like the ones that we just talked about, that carries a little bit more weight than it does in a restrictor plate race because of the fact that everybody's pretty much even. You're kind of in the draft. It depends on who gets the push, who comes out at the right time. There's a lot that's left to chance in that race, and I think that's what probably diminishes those 2 wins more than if they happen somewhere like, say, he won at Bristol and Darlington. That would be a bigger deal.
Tom and Dave Angie, again, we're live here at Chick-Fil-A, the crossing of North Johnson City. We're with you for a little while longer, as long as we need to go, because on Facebook we are not restricted by time. I know last week we got rolling in Championship. Chevrolet didn't get off there till about 1:30, and that's okay because folks say they like the show, and the show continues to grow. So we'll go till we get done talking. So we'll continue NASCAR, and we'll switch gears, talk a little college football. But right now, if you were to tell me at the beginning of the season we're this deep into the racing season and Joe Gibbs racing as yet by any of the drivers to win a race, I would have thought, wow, you're smoking something. But that's been the case. Certainly they've not won a race. That team needs a win. What other team or what other driver do you feel like needs a win heading into Kentucky this weekend?
Well, it's what surprises me about that is the fact that Truex, who's driving essentially the same equipment, is lights out. I mean, this guy's led probably more. I haven't looked at the lap leaders. I'd say he's led more laps than everybody. I know he's won more stages than anybody, and has been up front. And there's been some bad luck that's kept him from winning more. So that to me is just an absolute shocker at the moment. You look at drivers that need a win. Dale Earnhardt Jr. right now is at the top of the list because he's kind of back there in points, and he's a guy that's in his last season. And when you're in your last season and the team knows you're in your last season as a driver, if you don't have any momentum and you hit the summer and late summer and it looks like you're not going to make the chase, these people are like everybody else that have to hit the alarm every morning and get up and go to work, and how motivated they are a lot of times depends on how things are going at the racetrack. And I think he really wants to go out on a high note. I think the reason that Earnhardt came back this year was that he didn't want to go out like he did last year on the injured list. He wanted to be able to race the whole season, and I think in his mind really wanted to make the chase and be competitive in there. It could be a a life changer for him from a career standpoint, a legacy standpoint, if he somehow finds a way to win a championship this season, which is starting to look unlikely. But it all starts with a win. He's going to have to get a win somewhere. You get the team fired up, get the team motivated, get that run of momentum that'll carry him into the chase. You want to be peaking late in the summer, but it's going to take a win pretty soon for that to happen for him.
Do you think he's jumped the gun? Because I'm reading more and more of his quotes over the weekend. I kept thinking, this guy doesn't sound like a guy who's totally ready to walk away from the sport. I know he says he's going to drive selected races next year for Xfinity. Now they're talking, at least I heard on the grapevine over the weekend, that maybe this guy loves the Daytona 500. Maybe he'll come back and drive in a spot roll here or there in some of the tracks of his choosing. Do you hear more and more of that, or what do you think?
Well, I think what you're going to see from him is, at the most you're going to see is a Michael Waltrip scenario. If you remember when Michael Waltrip was owning his race team, he would, for the sponsors, Aaron's and everybody else, he'd go out and he'd run the restrictor plate tracks because that was what he was good at. And I think with Junior, that may be at this point in his career what he enjoys the most are those restrictor plate tracks. They're all synonymous. When you look at Talladega and Daytona, those are synonymous with the Earnhardt name. It's good for sponsors. He'll have no trouble getting a sponsor on the car for those two races if he decides to run. I understand what he's doing for Junior Motorsports, and I mean that's one of those deals. That's his team, and to have him in the car is really going to help them financially. To keep everybody else running for full seasons, and he's built a good deal there. I think he's going to keep that going. When it comes to Cup, it's going to depend on, first of all, his willingness. He may get out of the car and decide he really likes it. It may suit him, and you may not see him out there again. The other side of it is, if he wants to run those 4 races a year or 2 of the 4 restrictor plate races of the year, it's going to depend on a team being able to put a Cup car out there, not be up against the cap, be able to put a competitive car on the track for him to run in, because I know he doesn't want to just go out there and ride around in those races.
I would agree with you wholeheartedly, so we'll see how it works. And another guy I keep hearing about is going to maybe get that 88th seat. In fact, I was talking to some guys on the Performance Racing Network, specifically Pat Patterson, said, don't be surprised if they go tap Eric Jones. Yeah. I said, what about Alex Bowman? He said, Junior wants Alex Bowman, but he said, I'm not sold. This is Pat Patterson talking, but he was there and got his ear to the ground. He said, I'm not sold on Alex Bowman. I'm not sure Rick Hendrick is either. You got to look at William Byron. The guy's in the Hendrick camp. He's won back-to-back Xfinity Series races convincingly. And so this guy is starting to put it together. So it's going to be interesting who's going to take that 88th seat. Again, you've got Matt Kenseth going to be done. His contract's up with Joe Gibbs. I've heard also that they'll bring Kenseth over to drive for a year or 2 so you get these young pups ready to go to take over the seat full-time. So there's a lot of possibilities, a lot of scenarios. You think Casey Kane's still in trouble in Hendrick?
I think it's interesting the fact that they have to replace a driver in that 88 car, and that might bail Casey Kane out, because you don't want to be dealing with too many moving parts at one time. So he may get another year or 2 out of the deal because of the fact that they're going to try to solidify that 88. Because if you look at it sponsorship wise, and you have the most popular driver in NASCAR in that car, I mean, he's paying the freight in a lot of ways. I mean, he's one of the most consistently sponsored cars out there, which is more valuable now than it has been in a long time in NASCAR. So you can't take that lightly. They're going to have to get a big name in that car. They're going to have somebody in there that the sponsors are going to really like, and I don't think Alex Bowman's that guy. And really, honestly, I don't know if Eric Jones is that guy at the moment. So it depends on how much confidence they have in Byron. Now they brought Chase Elliott up, and it was seamless. The folks at Napa latched onto him, said, this is our guy, this is who we want. And I think it's going to be a similar situation with the 88. If it's a young driver, if it's not an established veteran, you're going to see a sponsor somewhere say, hey, you know what, we really like this William Byron kid, we think he's the future of racing, we want you to move him into the 88 and we'll sponsor the deal. We'll give you a 3-year deal here to get him going. The Kenseth thing I just don't see. I don't see him doing it. And I don't know how much longer you see Kenseth driving. He's a guy that says, I'm not going to have a farewell tour. When my contract's up one day, you all will just show up at Daytona and you won't see me, and that'll be it. So, yeah, a lot of moving parts here. This is going to be an especially interesting free agent year in NASCAR for sure.
Before we go to the break again, just for saying's sake, Chase Elliott currently 6th in points, Jimmy Johnson 7th. These are Hendrick drivers, of course. Junior 22nd in points, and then, of course, Casey Kane 20th in points. So you got 2 doing pretty good in the top 10 and 2 not doing so hot at all. Casey Kane 20th and Junior 22nd in points. Here's the schedule coming up. We've got again, on-track practice right now as we speak for the Camping World Truck Series race tomorrow night. Tomorrow we got the Camping World Truck Series pole qualifying at 5 o'clock. Tomorrow night at 7:30, Kentucky Speedway, it's the Buckle Up in Your Truck 225. Friday, pole qualifying at 4:30 for the Xfinity Series and 6:15 for the Cup. And then, of course, the Xfinity Series at 8 o'clock on Friday night, the Alsco 300. Again, defending champ of that race is Kyle Busch. And then on the track for Saturday night, the Quaker State 400 presented by Advance Auto Parts, and the defending champ of that race is Brad Keselowski, who's still waiting for a contract extension from Penske. And we've been talking about this for 3 or 4 weeks. I don't know whether that's a sign that they're not interested, there's a problem, but you would think that Penske would sew him up pretty quickly and make sure he's a happy camper, because he's done pretty good for him.
Oh, definitely.
But we're not hearing anything. Maybe they're still working behind the scenes, but you would think at this point they'd come out and say we're going to have something hammered down or hammered out or whatever, but I haven't heard anything to say, unless it's happened today, that we're going to make sure Keselowski stays in the Team Penske fold.
Yeah, it's one of those things, and you see this a lot with drivers, where the sponsorship side of it has to be pinned down before they can offer the contract, because the money, the bulk of it comes from the sponsor. So until you have that deal in place, you know, everybody's just kind of hanging out there in the wind. You know, it's not like it is with an NBA team where they know what they have against the salary cap and what they're going to have to pay, and it's pretty much coming from their payroll. I mean, sponsors are real heavy in this, and they're probably working on an intricate sponsor deal that's taking a little bit longer than they want. Now, incidentally, this is how it happens in NASCAR, you know, every now and then, where they're working on something like this and it gets into late summer, it gets into the fall, all of a sudden another offer comes up from somewhere. You know, hey, we got the money now and we have this ride that might be a little bit better than what you're driving right now. And you can see a driver, you know, jump ship and disappear, a big name driver. So, like I say, yeah, this summer, more than most, is pretty interesting when you look at silly season and who's going to end up where in NASCAR.
On the screen, you see the ball cap, Food City 300. We're 44 days out. It's not that far away. Tickets available at Bristol Tix or 423 Bristol to the track, and also get your tickets at Food City. We'll be at Food City on Friday here at State of Franklin and Johnson City on a Food City Friday, so we'll talk more about that. How you can get your tickets, general admission. They got a special seating section for the general admission Food City drivers, and so, or Food City, not drivers, Food City fans. And so don't forget, on Wednesday night, kids 12 and under get in free. On Friday night for the Food City 300, kids 12 and under get in free. Then on Saturday night for the Bass Pro Shop NRA night race, it's a $10 ticket for kids 12 and under. So we'll talk more about that. Plus, we've got tickets to give away, and we'll start that as soon as we get done with the Hollywood giveaway. We'll switch gears and give you a chance to win tickets to the Bass Pro Shop NRA night race, of course, the Camping World Truck Series, the UNOH 200, and, of course, the Food City 300 coming up. Again, as we said, 42 days away from the truck race. Hard to believe it's a cycle back around, but it's going to be here before you know it. And, of course, the big one, as Charlie Daniels says here on the show, America's night race, the Bass Pro Shop NRA night race, only 45 days from today. It'll be here before you know it. Let's switch gears before we let him go. We'll take a break. We'll just go ahead and close it out. We got a few minutes left here. So, high school football right around the corner. 7-on-7 camps, and I guess when you come back from the 4th of July, the coaches are back in the office and watching film and getting ready. So it's kind of the calm before the storm right now.
Yeah, it really is. You know, and they're getting some work done, and you know, we've talked about 7-on-7 a little bit and how important that's become to high school football. You know, as you've seen. You know, back in the old days, there were a lot more running teams in high school football than passing teams. You know, you'd see a lot more. If you remember the Sullivan South squads from back in the day, you know, they line up and they're going to run it between the tackles. And there was a lot of that in high school football. It was fairly common. But, you know, these passing games now are really intricate. As the spread has come in, that's really changed high school football a great deal. And it's made these 7-on-7 deals during the summer really important because, you know, it's such a timing and rhythm offense with the quarterback. They've got 4 or 5 receivers spread out there. Everybody's got to know where everybody else is going. And you got to pretty much hit the ground running with that from week one, you know, as you start playing. So what happens is these quarterbacks and these receivers are out and really getting themselves on the same page, which is more important now than it was 20 years ago. And it's helped facilitate a much more exciting brand of football in high school. So, you know, it's hard to believe they're out there and they're working and they're doing 7-on-7, but man, it pays dividends, and the quality of football is much better for it.
If you missed last week, well, Dave was on vacation. Doug Fritz did a great 3 or 4 day series on all the changes in all the sports and reclassification, including football. We'll get Doug on maybe tomorrow and let him talk about it again from his perspective because it was very good. It's a great, in fact, I've kept them. It's a great reference tool for us as we move forward. We'll park it for this week, but next week we'll go ahead and get the word out. We're getting ready to do a show. He and I will let you know about that. If you want to know about football, every week you want to know about football. Starting in August, it'll be a show involving high school and college, a little bit of pro, but primarily high school and college. And we're going to co-host the show and can't wait. This guy's a pro and looking forward to being with him. But we'll roll it out next week and make it official. But it's coming. And so I know he and I have talked about it, and you're very excited about it. I'm very excited about it. So we'll keep it under wraps for one more week, and then we're going to start promoting the whiz out of it because we want folks to be ready for it when it comes August the 24th, I believe, is the first show, if I'm not mistaken. So that's coming up. It'll be here soon enough. It's hard to believe. We're at 170 days till Christmas, I think is what I read this morning. So college football, same thing. It's kind of the calm before the storm. A lot of the guys are, I know that typically 4th of July is when the coaches get away and do the family thing, and then they get back in this week in the office and they crank it up, and their practices start pretty soon too.
Yeah, right around the corner on that as well. And it's interesting when you look at this early enrollment deal that they started a few years back. It's been about a decade ago, I think, the NCAA did, where you can get guys who graduate early, you can get them on campus in January, so they're allowed to go through spring practice. So what that's done is that's allowed a lot of freshmen a lot of reps in the spring. They're in the program through the summer, and they know enough of the terminology where you're seeing a lot of freshmen really challenged for playing time from the get-go in the fall, and it just increases the position battles and the excitement for everybody as we get into these fall camps in terms of who's going to play where and if a freshman can get on the field and what they can do when they get out there. So, yeah, it's a fun time of year. There's a lot more veterans now at this time of year who are in the weight room and really getting ready because they got to guard their position against the young bucks coming in. So it's always a fun time of year for that.
If you had to pick top 3 right now off the top of your head in college football, who would you pick preseason? Of course, everything's just chit-chat now. There's nothing going on except a lot of anticipation. Who would you pick the top 3 preseason right now?
I would say Florida State, Alabama, and Ohio State. And the fun part about that is, Florida State, we're going to find out early. And I'm going to tell you, I have a feeling Alabama could have their first 2-game losing streak in a long time if they don't show up ready to play for that first game. And I know they have a lot back and a lot of very talented players. But, man, Florida State looks on paper to be almost on another level. So that's going to be a clash early. We're going to find out who has what from right away. And I applaud both of those programs for playing in that game. It would be easy to take an easy, simple opponent in week 1. But, man, that's going to be something right out of the chute.
Butch Jones, we talked about this last week on the show from Champion with Kevin Harmon, our UT guy. He says there's some national sports writers come out and said Butch Jones is in trouble. He's in the hot seat. Agree or disagree?
Well, they haven't played a game yet this year. I think what they're assuming on that is that the Tennessee fans aren't going to have much patience. And I've seen some predictions that have Tennessee finishing as bad as 4th or 5th in the East. Which if that happens, I think that might be the end of the line given the amount of talent they have there. But I really think I like what he's done with his coaching staff. I think you're going to see, even though they've lost a lot of players, you lose your starting quarterback, but I think they're going to be a better coached football team this year, and I think you're going to see them adjust better at halftime and play better in the second half of some of these games. And I think they'll be all right. I think they'll be anywhere between 8 and 10 wins this year, which I think will be a good season for them given what they lost.
We're about to go down the line here before we shut this thing down for the day and come back tomorrow at Champion Chevrolet. Pick me wins and losses. Georgia Tech, win or loss at Georgia Tech.
Oh, let's see. Man, oh, man. I think they win that one.
Okay. Indiana State.
They got that one.
Checkbook game, all right? This is write them a check and get a W. At Florida.
They're not going to win that one.
2-1, all right? Back home for UMass.
They got that one.
3-1. Georgia at home.
I think they lose that game.
Okay. South Carolina at home.
They win that one.
4-2, all right? At Alabama.
That is going to be a loss, yes.
At Kentucky.
That's going to be a tough game, but they're going to win it.
All right, you got them at 5-3. Southern Miss at home.
They get that one.
All right. At Missouri.
Oh, they're going to get that one.
Okay. LSU at home.
They lose that one.
Yep. And Vanderbilt at home.
I think that's a win for them.
8-4.
Yep.
I've got Turtle said 10-2. The Food City guy. My buddy Cody said 7-5. Said they're way overrated. He's a big UT guy.
Yeah.
I said If they're 7-5, Butch is looking for you all.
That's trouble. I think 8-4 will be okay.
Yep.
I think it should, given the circumstances. But it's always easy to say that when you're looking from the outside looking in. I know when we had Brady Hoke, who was struggling to make bowls, we were ready to buy him a U-Haul. So, yeah, I understand the sentiment there. The emotions can run high, and I'm not taking that lightly. I mean, but you have to look overall. The list of recruits they have committed for next year, unreal. Of course, you can say that for every year, and at some point, people are going to say, okay, we got the players. Where are the results? I think this might be a year too early for that. I think if they win 8 games, you give them another year and hope for the best, because that's a pretty tough schedule right there.
You back next week? You're back now, aren't you? In
Sure.
the saddle?
Yeah, I'm back.
In the saddle. Yep.
I'm back.
Next week we will announce the name and give you all the particulars about the show. It's going to be a good one, too, because I got this guy and I got some other guys. I'm like Ronald Reagan said one time. They said, boy, you're a great president. So, no, I'm just surrounding myself with good people. So I'm smart enough to surround myself with good people like this guy and some other of his co-workers, and we're looking forward to the show big time. We'll talk more about that next week. This little lady right here, look at her. She is bored to tears. His beautiful daughter. Well, you can't deny that one.
I'll tell you.
Looks like little Dave right there. It's like
it looks like she's been through the mill, doesn't it?
looks like she's been on the playground having a big time.
Oh, yeah. I thought she'd have fun over there. So.
Can you believe inside of a month they're back to school?
Cannot believe that.
No.
We were backpack shopping online the other day, so
yep.
It got real.
Yep.
We're headed back, buy some pencils.
There you go.
Put her on the bus.
I won't put her on her yet. We got a little while longer. So
yeah, we do.
Put her on the bus.
We're having a good summer. We're having a lot of fun together. So
there you go.
Yep.
All right. He's awesome.
All right, man.
Yep. We're going to close this thing out. I do want to say thanks to our guest. That way he can jump off here. Boom. And let's hit it right there. Boom. We can run down the guest again one more time. We want to say thanks today. Zeke Shell couldn't be with us. We want to get him tomorrow. Zeke, again, working. He's that late model driver from the Kingsport Speedway. We're going to have him on tomorrow, and we're looking forward to that. Also, thanks to, John and Rebecca Horniak, who came by and sang. Really appreciate those folks. Did a wonderful job. Greg Salyer stopped by talking Major League Baseball. Dave Angie, of course, and we got it all started with Daniel Gooch, again from Chick-Fil-A. Hey, don't forget, again, to get on there and enter. Why would you not? Enter to win at TomDalySports.com/contest. 2 one-day passes to Dollywood. Again, we're going to announce those coming up 2 weeks from Friday, the winner. Sponsored by Jeremy Livesey at JeremyLivesey.com, doing a wonderful job, and we appreciate him very much on behalf of Mortgage Investors Group. So check it out. TomDalySports.com/contest. And again, 2 one-day passes to be used anytime between now and the end of the calendar year, as long as Dollywood's open. It usually closes like the first or second day of January 2018. So if you get a chance, be sure and get on there and register. And we'll thank you ahead of time for that. Thanks to all the guests. Again, show number 550 in the book. So we're out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. Back in the saddle tomorrow at Champion Chevrolet. Full show tomorrow. And, of course, we got Kevin on tomorrow. Carmichael's on tomorrow. Got some other guests lined up and ready to go. So until we greet you at 11 o'clock tomorrow from Champion Chevrolet in the Bristol Motor Mile, Johnson City. From Chick-fil-A at the crossings in North Johnson City, we'll tell you, as always, win or lose, be a good sport. And thanks for giving us a watch and a listen on the Tom Daly Sports Show. So long, everybody.